Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something pretty cool. It's a technique for improving spoken English. I mean, who doesn't want to sound more, natural? Reduce that accent a bit, maybe.
Absolutely. It's all about confidence when you speak.
Exactly. So, lots of language learners, they get stuck on grammar and vocab, but fluent speaking, that's a whole other beast.
It is. And this technique, it's kind of like training your mouth, almost like you're learning a song by ear, feeling it.
Oh, I like that. It's not all about memorizing perfectly.
Right, exactly.
So what's this technique called then? How's it work?
It's called the English imitation technique. And it's super effective. It's got 3 steps. Listen and read. Then you listen and imitate. And finally, there's this thing called shadowing.
Okay, I'm hooked already.
Now,
break it down for me. What's listen and read all about?
So imagine this. You're reading a story in English, right? But at the same time, you're listening to a native speaker read it aloud. And this double whammy, it helps you absorb the pronunciation, the rhythm, everything. Your ears start to pick up on all the little things.
So it's like ear training, but for English. Makes sense. What about listen and imitate then?
That's where you get your mouth moving. You listen to a native speaker say a phrase, maybe a sentence, and you try to copy it, perfectly.
Like vocal exercises, but for English.
Exactly. It builds muscle memory for the sounds, the intonation, all of it.
Okay, I'm seeing how these steps build on each other. Now, this shadowing thing, what's that all about?
Shadowing kicks it up a notch. You're listening to the audio, and you try to speak along with it, in real time, matching their pace, the way their voice goes up and down, everything.
Whoa, that sounds intense.
Yeah.
But I can see how it would help with fluency.
Oh, absolutely. It forces you to process and speak the language, instaantly, which is what real conversations are like.
True.
Now, to really show how this works, let's use an example. A travel story. How about that?
Ooh, I love travel stories. Where are we going?
Well, get ready for some sunshine and delicious pastries. We're off to Lisbon, Portugal.
Okay, let's dive into this Lisbon adventure. Show us how this technique can help us tell a great story and sound amazing doing it.
Imagine this. Your friend calls, totally out of the blue. She's got this extra spot for a conference in Lisbon.
What?
No way. Next thing you know, you're on a plane.
Okay, that's awesome. But hold on. Before we get too far into the story, I want to make sure our listeners, the ones who are new to English, they're really getting this technique.
Oh, yeah, good point. Sometimes diving straight into a story can be, a lot.
Exactly.
So let's show them how listen and read works with, a simple sentence from our story,
Perfect.
Yeah.
How about, I've just come back from a trip to Portugal?
Yeah, perfect. So imagine you're reading that, right?
Yeah.
But you're also hearing me say it. I've just come back from a trip to Portugal.
Okay, I'm listening.
Hear how I stress back, and my voice goes up a little on Portugal.
Yeah, I hear it.
That's it. You're starting to train your ear, picking up on those details.
It's like seeing the words and hearing them at the same time. Yeah, pretty cool.
Right. It's all connected. Okay, let's add a bit more. Lisbon, actually. Hear how it changes the feeling.
Ooh, yeah. It's more like you're sharing a secret or something.
Exactly. That's what we're going for. Natural, effortless English.
I love it. Okay, back to our spontaneous trip. Yeah. What happens next? I've just landed. I'm excited, probably a little jet lagged. What should I do first?
Well, you said you loved adventures, right? How about a tuk-tuk ride through those old historic neighborhoods?
A tuk-tuk.
Imagine it. Winding through those narrow streets, sunshine. And your guide, Paula, she's from Lisbon, knows all the cool spots.
That sounds amazing. But tuk-tuk might be a new word for some of our listeners.
Ah, good catch. Tak-tak, that's the sound word, like boom or crash. It's a little 3-wheeled vehicle, kind of like a
motorized rickshaw.
Yeah, exactly. And they're everywhere in Asia, even some parts of Europe. The name comes from the sound the engine makes. Tak, 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 tak.
Makes sense. Okay, so I'm in the tuk-tuk. Paula's my guide. What kind of cool spots are we talking about?
Oh, picture this. Tiny back streets, covered in street art you wouldn't find on your own. And Paula, she's telling you stories about growing up in Lisbon. It's like the city comes alive,
Wow. Okay, I'm sold. I need to go to Lisbon. But first, I need to be able to talk about it.
Right.
Can we do the listen and imitate thing with some of these phrases?
Of course. How about winding my way through historic neighborhoods? Listen carefully. Winding my way through historic neighborhoods.
Okay, I hear it. Winding, historic, those words stand out, and it kind of sounds like the movement of the tuk-tuk.
Exactly. Now you try. A few times.
Winding my way through historic neighborhoods. Winding my way through historic neighborhoods.
Perfect. See, you're sounding more and more natural. Now, ready to kick it up a notch.
You mean shadowing?
Yeah. Listen to this. She took us to cool little back streets, and, we explored some amazing street art. Try to speak along with me. Don't worry, if you fall behind a bit, it's all about practice.
Okay, here we go. She took us cool little back streets, and, we explored some amazing... Oh, man, that was fast.
You did great. See? It takes practice, but the more you do it, the smoother you'll get. Trust me.
It does feel kind of fun, though, even if it's tough.
Yeah.
Like a tongue twister challenge or something.
It is. It's like a workout for your mouth.
Okay, let's get back to Lisbon. Where to next? I'm thinking, after all that exploring, I'm definitely hungry. And you mentioned pastéis de nata before.
Ah, yes. Time for a pastry break.
Okay, I'm at my table. The pastel de nata smells incredible. I take a bite. How would you describe it? To someone who's never had one.
Imagine this. Flaky, buttery crust. And inside, creamy custard filling with a hint of lemon and cinnamon. It's warm, sweet, just melts in your mouth.
Oh, man. Now I really want one.
It's a classic for a reason.
Okay, but thinking about our listeners, some of them might be feeling a bit overwhelmed with this whole technique. There's a lot to take in, right?
It's true, it takes effort. But
Yeah.
think about it. It's like tapping into the natural way we learn language, like how kids do it. They listen, they copy, they get better over time.
That's true. So we're basically relearning English the way we learned our first language.
Exactly. It's like a shortcut.
I like that.
Yeah.
So this technique, it's not just for like specific words or phrases, right?
No, not at all. You can use it with anything in English. Movies, podcasts, even songs. Just pick something you enjoy, something with natural, everyday language.
Great advice. So for someone just starting out, what kind of stuff would you recommend?
Start small. Maybe a scene from a movie you like, or a short podcast episode. Focus on the flow, the intonation, how the words connect. You don't have to understand every single word at first. Just get a feel for the rhythm.
Okay, start small, build up my confidence. I like it. Now, let's say I've been practicing this technique for a while. How do I know it's actually working?
You'll notice things like you understand native speakers better, maybe?
Yeah.
Or you find yourself using new words and phrases without even thinking about it. And hey, maybe people start complimenting your pronunciation.
Okay, that would be awesome. Makes all the hard work worth it, right?
Totally.
Before we wrap up, any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
Remember, this is a journey, not a race. Be patient, celebrate your progress, don't be scared of messing up. The most important thing is to enjoy it, and keep pushing yourself.
That's great advice. And for everyone listening, whether you're just starting out or you've been learning for a while, give the English imitation technique a try. You might be surprised at how much it helps. Unlock that fluency, that confidence you're looking for.
Who knows? Maybe one day you'll be ordering pastel de nata in Lisbon, chatting with the locals. No problem.
That's the dream. All right, on that note, that's a wrap for today's deep dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring the English imitation technique with us. Until next time, happy practicing and keep up the amazing work with your English.